It is time for a reading wrap up, and as always, I have a stack of books to go over, so I'm going to do two parts, starting off with the fiction edition, because this month I'm pretty sure I read 14 books. Be prepared for a little bit of a ramble, a lot of rating and ranking as I go through each one. Starting off with my least favorite read of the month, at the number 9 spot, we are going to have a 2-star read for me, and that is Fangirl. This is the second YA novel that I've read by this author, and although it wasn't anywhere as near as offensive as I found Eleanor and Park, I'm thinking that this writer just isn't for me, or at least they're not for me when it comes to their young adult stories. Now, while I consider this a 2-star read, I definitely think that other people would enjoy this and may even rate it higher. I think if you're a fan of romance, small town college feels, a girl finding herself, fan fiction writing, coming to terms with some toxic family behavior, and moving past the boy of your imagination to the real life boy of your dreams. Does that work? I don't know. We'll keep it in. Then this is going to be the novel for you. Just not for me. My number 8 pick is going to be the start of 3-star reads, the ones that I guess are for me, and we're going to talk about the series that I finished. This is the graphic novel series, The Walking Dead, Volume 32, and I feel accomplished. Am I going to read it again though? Probably not, but I'm glad that I stuck it all the way through. My number 7 pick for the month was the series that I thought I was going to finish until I realized there's a new book which has already arrived at my door. We have book 4 in The Witcher. If you're not counting the short story collections, I am, so maybe book 6, The Tower of Swallows. And this is going to focus more on what's been going on with our girl Ciri. And of course, I fell in love with The Witcher because of The Witcher, but by the time we get to how the story is laid out and how she is narrating her own tale, I don't know, I guess there are more characters to the story than The Witcher and Dandelion. The number 6 spot is going to go to this debut novel, Shanghai Landers. And while a story of family and secrets, it does have its trigger warnings, but overall I enjoyed it, and it certainly made me think about what it might be like for the upper crust of society. Number 5 on my list is going to be the start of the 4-star reads, and this one was a toughie this month. I really can see the next two being 5-star reads and one that I want to go back to. Jasmine Cartwright is an indie author that I discovered here on BookTok, and I have loved everything that she's written. This was her first adult novel, and as a weird science fiction, speculative fiction novel, I was definitely here for it. And now on to a horror speculative fiction novel that doesn't take place in our current times, but in fact takes place in our past. We have this breakout debut novel about vampires in the 1700s. Loved it. And just like the last novel, even though I gave it 4 stars, I kind of feel like these are ones that I'm probably going to want to reread and can imagine them being up to 5 stars once I pick them back up. But number 3 is going to be the start of the official 5 stars, especially because this was the book that I reread for the month. We have yet another BookTok author that I thoroughly love. And here in Austin, I've been extremely lucky in order to be able to see him at some of those events in which he's able to speak, especially at Birdhouse Books, a lovely indie store here in town. And for the promo that he was doing with this book, we were able to eat some delicious s'mores in store and talk about his poetry verse novel for the book club. This is the second event that I've been able to go to with him at this bookstore, and just like the first one, we had some hints about what's coming along with his next publication. Number 2 on my list is going to be another 5-star recommendation, but more serious. This is a speculative fiction novel that was published in the 90s and is also a quick read, but it's a little bit more harder to digest and maybe one that you will need to take some time as you work through it. I Who Have Never Known Men is a serious feminist novel. And while this is a book that definitely leaves you with tons of questions and not a lot of answers, it's not a negative experience because it's supposed to make you think. Speaking of thinking, this modern day Frankenstein style novel that focuses more on the creature itself, Monstrilio, is my number 1 pick for the month. It is weird, it is freaky, it is creepy, it is definitely triggering. And while you understand somewhat more the mechanics of the fantastical nature in this story. It still leaves you with those questions. This is a story about grief, about life and death, about family, but this is also a queer story that can leave you hungry for life. And it's honestly books like this and all the other ones that I read this month that really kept me going, especially as things get darker and darker. What novels invigorated, terrified, and kept you reading in the month of September?